Hare Krishna. So here someone is saying that the material world, which is temporary and full of suffering, is a need because it is the only means by which we can appreciate happiness. And such a person is saying that there is no actually eternal happiness, but we are appreciating happiness because of their suffering. So suffering should be there. That is the understanding. Now let us see uh, what the Shastras say. So, what is the definition of happiness? Our current definition of happiness is an absence of suffering. Basically, what we perceive as happiness is that situation when there is no suffering, right? Question comes, why should we settle for suffering? As we know, the Atma, we are Satchit Ananda, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. We always want to be happy. We always love to be happy. Suffering then is an artificial condition. Example, if a fish comes out of water and you know, you tell the fish that, okay, you have come out of the water, why don't you climb a tree? Why don't you run a race? And the fish may try to do it and thinking that, this is just my part of my life. Some difficulty in breathing, some burning of the skin, that's okay, that's part of life. It's not, it's an artificial condition. Fish belongs in water. So this whole situation of this material world of happiness and distress and whatnot, this flux, so-called this flow of this life, this transient nature of happiness and distress, is described very beautifully by Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto, 9th chapter, 16th verse, 7, 9, 16. यस्मात् प्रियप्रियवियोगसंयोगजन्म शोकाग्निना सकलयोनिषु धायमाना दुःखौषधं तदपि दुःखमतद्दियाहं भूमान् भ्रमामि वद मे तव दास्य योगम्. He said this world is nothing but a permutation and combination of four things. Apriya, things which you don't like. Priya, things which you like. Viyoga, you don't get it. Sanyoga, you get it. So, if you mix Priya and Viyoga, if you do not get what you like, that is called sadness. If you mix Priya and Sanyoga, if you get what you like, that is happiness. If you take Apriya and Viyoga, if you don't get what you don't like, that is happiness. And if you mix Apriya and Sanyoga, if you get what you don't like, then that is sadness. So these four permutation and combinations. But everyone, shokagnina sakala yone sudhayamana, everyone is burning in the fire of shoka, lamentation. In this fire, we try to find some remedies. We try to use our brains and try to find some remedies. Dukkaushadam, we are trying to find the aushadi, the medicine to dukkam. Tad api dukkam, but the medicine itself, the solution is also a problem. Like people are tired of walking and commuting, they build cars, right? But now in cars, what happens? There's so much accident, there's so much pollution, there's heavy dependency on oil now that we cannot go back only, right? Dukkaushadam tad api dukkam. So therefore, we should not be foolish to accept or aspire for a half-baked life of misery and happiness together. Because eternal happiness is there. Why do we think that we have to be settled for sadness? Many people say that suffering is part of life. You got to live with it. No, we do not want. It's smart. You should be intelligent. Why should I want a suffering life? Huh? This half-baked life is not good. If someone gives you a half-cooked food, imagine a half-cooked chapati and say, this is how it's made. Eat it. But when you know there's proper chapati, nicely baked, nicely cooked, nicely, you know, fluffy and soft, then why would you want a half-baked chapati? So similarly, suffering does not create, all right, the worth of what is happiness. We thinking that happiness is only valued if there's suffering. No. Ask people who have lost their loved ones, who have lost their property, who have lost their limbs, who have lost something valuable. Ask such people, are they happy? Will they appreciate it more? No, because it's a wrong argument. Else, if not, everyone in this world has experienced suffering, is suffering. Then why is not everyone more happy? Why is not more people satisfied? If suffering is the reason for us to get to appreciate happiness more, then people should be more content because the world is full of suffering. But it doesn't work that way. So happiness should not be dependent on the lack of suffering, right? What is happiness? Real happiness actually we have never experienced in this world. It is called ananda. As we advance in devotional life, as we relish Harikatha, Hari Kirtan, then we can feel our hearts swelling with love for Krishna and for all creation. So, you know, the Shastras they mention that this world, Shastras which are spoken by God Himself, God has said that this world is like a jail and we need to get out of jail. We cannot become comfortable in this jail, right? So there's no use in inventing our own theories and philosophies of happiness and sadness and say that it's okay, I like both parts of it. Let me suffer also because when I suffer, I appreciate better. If that is the case, then this world is filled with suffering. Everyone should be more happy and more content, but it's not. So Shastras promise a life, a pure life, filled with only happiness, because that is the nature of the soul that is available in the spiritual world. So do not cheat ourselves with such false theories that suffering is part of life, we have to embrace it, accept it. No. We can seek a perfect life, a pure life. That is the spiritual life back in the spiritual world. So we should aspire for that. Hare Krishna.